Hello, fellow role players of Hollowworld. Today I am joined for the third episode of the podcast with Scardrac and Glados. Say hello, you two.
Pronounced
Hello.
Cloud.
Okay. Anyways, so we're going to start off today with some introductions. So Scardrac, tell us a little about what you do around the server, who you are.
Scardrac plays Scarlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I roleplay.
continue.
That's all I do. I manage roleplay groups and help around with situations. Yeah.
Right. GLaDOS, why don't you tell us a little about what you do around the server?
My main character on Hollowworld is Nausicaa, Null's daughter. And
Okay.
I'm a member of the council, and I have been sober for 2 months.
That's great. Awesome. Today we're going to talk a little bit about your organizations, what you guys do around the server news, what's going on, and all sort of questions and fun. So let's get into it now. First, let's talk about what's going on around Hollowworld. What's upcoming? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Scardrac or GLaDOS, whichever.
Called Cloud. Can you like?
Go ahead and talk to us about what's going to happening around the server.
Cloud can sit down. A big upcoming event that a lot of people are excited about is the Journey to Kavdek, where it is the homeland of the now extinct race of the Naka. I'm participating, and a lot of people want to participate, so they're all pitching in. And we're all excited to see where it goes, because in-character knowledge says that there's been trade ships going to Kavdek and have not came back. So one of the Nakam, Vukrel, has been very curious about this and has organized a ship with a captain to go and find out what's up. I have no clue what's going to happen, and I'm just excited as other people are.
Curiosity killed the cat, Scardrac.
I'm a little interested to see what happens also, as Mitch has posted about applications. There seems to be some spots opening up for this extinct race, yes?
Yes, there's 3 slots open for first generation Nakam. Then there's 3 slots for Gen 2, because one of Mitch Cat's characters is having triplets.
Ah, right, yes. I have a character who is a child of Tuna Cats too as well, so that's Generation 2.
The cats are pumping out babies.
Yes, they are. So, other things that are happening around the server, we've been seeing a lot of stuff with EULA, the staff, region census, all that stuff. What are your guys' opinions on the new donation changes in EULA? Why don't you talk a little about that?
It is the shame to see Pay for Radiance go, because it wasn't entirely pay to win, but it was definitely a boost to help people who needed the money.
We
got to follow the rules.
Yep. What about your thoughts, GLaDOS?
Personally, I think it's going to be a little bit more hard to get people up to the incentive to actually donate now, because there's lack of, like Scardrac said, things like Radiance and that are things that can't be donated for now.
Right.
I think it shouldn't have been that way, and it's a shame that they're cracking down on that, because donate $500.
Yeah. What I am excited to see is the new money-making methods that I think, are coming up. That's not an inside info. That's just...
Yeah.
There's
some talks and stuff about what's going to be going on, so it's going to be good. I think it'll be a good sort of thing. There's good things happening down the road. All in all, things have been picking up a bit. Everything's sort of putting back the pieces together. We've got the new staff layout all put together, the media, lore, all those people. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about the new categories of staff and all those things? What do you guys think about that?
I do recall when staff wasn't about permissions, but it was about roles and all that. It did go well. I'm excited to see how this new organized collective of different people with different roles goes.
Yeah. it looks interesting. It'll be fun. I think it'll be good. Other things that are happening, we have a couple events, organizations, other things have been popping up around the server. We have the Consortium of Moors, which has been happening. We have, Glados's out of character game night, which is coming up. A bunch of things that are happening around. What are your thoughts on? First of all, we'll start with the Consortium of Moors, which is a new organization started by Solus Requiem. Any of you guys have thoughts on that?
Consortium of Moors. If Arceus finds out, because Arceus is irrationally racist against Dark Elves, Moor Elves, probably going to be a bit of hard test. Not going to be taken well by
harsh.
Arceus. However, never mind. There's not a however. Continue. Scardrack, go.
I do like the idea of a sort of collection of the morals to against the discrimination and racists, radical racists.
Yeah, definitely. It looks to be promising. I know right now it's very hush-hush in roleplay, but I think it'll be a pretty great thing. So GLaDOS, talk to us a little about your game night that's coming up, this out-of-character game night, as you drink from your soda.
It's actually tea, because I'm cultured. Out-of-character game night, right. So, coming up, either this weekend or next weekend, probably next weekend, as the Academy is going to be opening this Saturday. I'm going to plug that really quick. The out-of-character game night is going to have... I'm going to emphasize out-of-character. Immersion's going to be ruined here, because probably going to be a lot of people running around, doing stupid things like PvP and making fun of people, because that's... Some of the planned things going on are going to be... there's supposed to be a PvP area, which there's going to be. I have that all set up and ready to go, actually. There are going to be several different PvP areas. You can play the games and win money through winning the games. It's all going to be paid for with emeralds and paid out with emeralds, so that'll give all those voting emeralds you have a purpose if you haven't converted them into radiance yet. None of it's too expensive to play, so you're all encouraged to come and spend 5 emeralds signing up and playing games with your fellow Hollowworlders. Next Saturday, I'm finalizing it right now because I can. Next Saturday, look forward to it. More information to come.
Right, that looks like an interesting sort of thing. It might also relieve some stress with other, drama that's in roleplay and all that stuff. So I think that'll be a good thing to come out. So good work with that.
I should probably read up on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Scardrack, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character, Scar, who's, very interesting, and his positions right now with the Order of, I forget the order name.
The Order of the Fallen. I sometimes
it.
have to go read back and figure out what the real name is. My character, Scardrack, currently leads a group of people faithful to the god Harateth, who basically all around good guys try and bring justice and stop crime. Recently, at the end of the corruption crusade, he underwent some changes to his, emotional and just his overall personality. He's very antisocial now, and he doesn't have too much friends, so he's just devoted to his purpose now, to his god. And he is known as the Messiah to Harateth and the saint to his order. Mm-hmm. His order, based in Haven, are currently undergoing some changes. Velany X, who is the original leader of the order, is now a duke to a civilian town I think he's planning on building to help house the faithful to Herateth, who aren't necessarily knights or warriors, because
Right.
Haven and the Order is pretty much the military for Herateth, and so Scardrac's given the head of the Order, and
If I can
is-
interject,
yes.
are we going to see another Golden Crusade?
I definitely do not want to commit the Order to a full-scale war where they could potentially lose everything they have.
Like
This
just
is why
write
I'm not
down.
going to
Carry
try
on.
and make a... Yeah? What were you saying?
Right. What were you saying, GLaDOS?
Oh, I said to continue.
Oh, okay.
I asked my question.
All right. Yeah, I don't think we're going to commit ourselves to a giant empire or a giant war or any, long-term agreements with any other faction. We'll try and stay independent in the long run.
It'll be interesting to see how the organization turns out.
Yeah, they got a lot of hate at the beginning because Herateth
Yeah.
just recently got out of his anger stage for the Corruption Crusade. So
Mhm.
there were a lot of... Everybody was sort of suspicious.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how things plan out with that and all that stuff. So, GLaDOS, your character, you have a couple characters, but we'll focus on one for right now. You have Arceus Front, who is a very interesting and developed character in many ways. Why don't you talk a little bit about him and his upcoming academy and things of that nature?
Right. First off, thank you for pronouncing that name correctly. It's not
You're welcome.
Not Arceus Ferrante, as many people assume it to be. It's Arceus Front. So I mean, the academy is coming up. He had the fact that he's kind of useless, and he's tired of being useless. So he's gonna start training people. I think we've already got 4 or 5 students signed up, and 5 or 6 classes in the works. I know there are some things being worked out with IceandFire here in the works. Nothing's set in stone yet, but hopefully soon there will be. How it's gonna work? He's allowing anybody to sign up and teach from the academy. So there's several people who have asked to be able to teach, and that's perfectly fine. There's plenty of space. The entire region is going to be devoted to the learning of combat abilities and defensive abilities. An out-of-character reason I'm doing this for is because I'm sure most of us who were here during my arrival, we all remember the fact that I beat Audric 1v1 my second day on the server, when Audric was about 2 years older than my character. So it was silly, and I went through an OP phase because I was a noob, and we've gotten past that. And I would like to make sure that other characters don't have to go through the same thing, as they can sign up for the academy and learn all the skills they want to learn and have an excuse for knowing those skills that is valid and able to be confirmed in case anybody... That would be forcing actions. In case anybody accuses them of knowing things that are too advanced for them to know too early in their characters.
Right. So what sort of classes are going to be offered, or do you plan to offer at the academy?
Well, as of right now, actually, 22 minutes ago, Sir Andrew Wallens, who plays Vlad, has decided to start teaching a class on horseback archery and the like. So that's going to be implemented soon. I'll pull up my list here. I know that Arceus himself is going to be teaching swordsmanship from basic to advanced with just about any type of sword, and also a class which will teach you how to properly use a shield, because he has learned that much from Gallic and other developmental training roleplays. So we've got the first class available is going to be hand-to-hand combat, which he's pretty good at, considering one of his hands is basically made of metal. So he has to know how to use that properly, or else it's just weighing him down. There's longsword combat, sword and shield combat, short sword combat, and then last night, a friend of mine, Sir Ashington, who plays Alana Rhett, who is Arceus's daughter, has signed up to teach the first archery class, the first tier archery class at the Academy, which is going to cover basic posture and form and accuracy and how to properly maintain a bow. So that's good. I believe there are going to be things worked out with Abel Thorn as well, but that's not really gone into too far yet. So I'm not going to reveal too much about that.
Right. Seems interesting. Are you excited? I mean, do you have any future plans for this? I mean,
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
I plan on, in the future, in a few futures, I plan on taking over the world with the Academy, as you do.
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's going to remain a politically neutral academy for any faction to send their soldiers to train or to go there to train themselves. You will not be declined based on your race, even if you are Moor, even though Arceus hates Moors. And you won't be declined if you're a faction that Arceus doesn't like. It's perfectly politically neutral, and anyone can sign up. I plan on keeping it that way for a long time, if not permanently, because that will make it the most accessible to everyone on the server.
Now, for the teachers and people who are be teaching the classes, are you looking for any validation about who they are? Like, do they have experience in the field? You know, because I know we have quite a few good, as Mitch said, I think in your thread, we have quite a few people who know their stuff about weapons and proper form and stuff in that nature. Do you have any validation, or you just accept whoever wishes to teach?
We have multiple people who, out of character, are informed well about, medieval settings and equipment and stuff. First official teacher that's been added to the academy, Alana Rhett. Out of character, Sir Ashington has archery experience in real life, so that's something that I have considered, and definitely, if your character's good at the skill, you have potential to be accepted, but if you, out of character, have knowledge about the skill, that'll definitely boost your chances of being allowed to teach at the academy.
Right. Well, that looks interesting. I think it'll be a fun thing to watch as well, as, we have all these new organizations and groups popping up throughout the server. So I think that'll be interesting, and I look forward to possibly teaching there, depending on what happens. Next thing we'll talk about a little bit is, one second, let me check here. Basically, we have some question time. We have some, that's basically it. So we can start off with that. Questions that are going to be going on that people have submitted throughout all the threads in Hollowworld podcasts, and I've compiled a bunch. So why don't we start off with some of those and start talking with some questions. We'll start in a system that Scardrac will answer first, and then Glados will answer, so that we don't get colliding thoughts. Right. First question, I'm going to start with the third one. Here we are. 1 second. Okay. This question comes from Sankara, and he asks, what aspect of Hollowworld do you like the most?
I'm answering first?
Yep, you're answering first.
All right. Aspect I like about Hollowworld the most. Okay. It has to be the comfort I get with the friendliness and the neighborly aspect of everybody that contributes. Just feel at home, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very welcoming community, no matter who you are. I think Hollowworld is a place where everybody's accepted and welcomed, which is a great thing. So, GLaDOS, what about you?
That's a tough one. I like so much about the community and Hollowworld in general. I think the number one most impressive thing, from my perspective, since I am a writer, I think the most impressive thing is the fact that all of the lore is very original and none of it has many obvious aspects ripped off of other places. I'm a big fan of how that's structured in general.
Yeah. Yeah, the lore is definitely a great. It's a big standout when you look at Hollowworld as a whole. The lore is a big thing in general, which is pretty cool. Our next question comes from Mokwar. There's a few from him, and I'm gonna read them off. I'll start off with the first one. Which city would you live in if you were teleported into the world of Hollowworld, and what would your job/profession be?
Oh,
A neat one. First starts?
I'm gonna rule Haven out because I'd be biased. It'd have to be Renatus.
Yeah,
I just absolutely love the city, the way it's made, and the rule. And I would probably start out by cleaning out the horse stables, honestly.
What about you, Glados? Where would you go?
So, if into the world, I would probably have to pick Port Silver pre-corruption events because that city was amazing. If I could live in the upper district of Port Silver in the era when Lemonth was still alive, that would be a-okay. I'm okay with that. If it were Arceus, if I were Arceus, I'd probably have to go with pre-Lemonth's death, Silver Palace. That's definitely where I'd be, and I would continue my role as the Queen's Wing. Oh, I'm supposed to give a shout out to Arkan, by the way. Shout out to Arkan.
Okay. Hi, Arkan. And then next question asks from Mokwar, which is, one second, let me pull it up. Do you wish Port Silver was back, or are you happy with the Crossroads Inn as the main server hub for roleplay?
Corruption. I know that if this was an in-character's perspective, I'd love it back, but if it's just me telling you, then seeing Port Silver go definitely made me see a lot more roleplay happen in player towns, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's a definite thing that's been going on. Pretty cool. What about you, GLaDOS?
Me personally, out of character, I'm not sure, as much as I loved Port Silver, it was great, but seeing it go in the manner it did really put emphasis on how much of a threat the corruption really is, that no place is untouchable.
Right.
That was an amazing way for Port Silver's flame to go out. And I miss it. It was great for roleplay. I liked the knot a lot. Be a rhyme. But I would not bring it back. Now, in character, Arceus would, definitely. What I would like to see come back is a central crown, but I won't get into that because that's controversial.
Right. Like, we could sit here for hours talking about that, really. Spark in Space asks a few interesting questions. The first one is, what is your favorite sandwich filling? So, Scardrac, what is your favorite sandwich filling?
Sandwich filling, that's like the whole meats and
like the meats and
right?
the cheese, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, all that.
Oh, I really like what I do with tuna and a lot of different spices. Yeah, I have tuna. I have a whole bunch of spices. Put lettuce in there, and that's just my favorite thing.
And what about you, GLaDOS? What is your favorite sandwich filling?
Let's see. That is a really tough one. I would probably go with... Yeah, I'd probably have to go with salami. Salami's pretty great. And as for the cheese, I have always preferred mozzarella. So probably a salami and mozzarella melt. Toasted buns and all that. Wink. And that's it, yeah.
Okay, and the next question he asks is, sweet or salted popcorn?
Oh, sweet. Gross. Salted all the way, man.
Salted?
Sweet? What are you talking about? That's sweet popcorn.
I think it's like a caramel popcorn. Stuff
like
yeah,
like kettle corn.
Oh, I
like
see.
kettle corn.
Yeah, I definitely
I do have
salty.
to say, when I got like those Christmas tubs of all kinds of different popcorn, ugh, Excuse my voice. I never even touched the caramel. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really like it.
Ouch. Hurting Caramel's feelings.
It's okay.
The next question comes from, I can never pronounce his name. I don't know. HJKSOS, which is like Robert.
It's
Flood or
pronounced
something like
Hkis.
that. Perfect. He asks, if you could add something to Hollowworld, realistically, or money, time, etc., no object, what would it be?
What does it mean by that?
So, like, if you could add something to Hollowworld, which I don't really understand.
Like,
I think what
plot-wise
he's
or,
trying
like,
to ask
lore-wise?
is, central aspect of the real world that we don't have in Altera, like a solid timeline, because
I see, right.
everything's messed up time-wise, because people's characters are aging in weeks while others are aging in years,
Right.
etc. I personally would love to see, I think Deesh made a thread on this, I would love to see seasons be implemented in the texture pack or on the server itself. Like winter and etc.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I think that'd be cool too. It'd be nice to see, that'd be cool. What about you, Scardrac?
Oh my. I'd really do like the seasons thing, but I really would like to see some time thing implemented because it's so difficult to manage time in the server because the dates go by real life dates, but then there's time skips and all that, and it's just a big network of confusing pages and all that. It's a
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, as Mailman and Legion put it.
Yeah, exactly that. Next question comes from Depressed Monkey, and he asks, would you enjoy a zombie apocalypse themed role-playing server?
There was a thread made where somebody asks what we would do if we had our own role-playing server, and a zombie apocalypse roleplay server was what I suggested.
I would probably not attend that server because of my dedications with Hollowworld, but if I didn't have them, I might try it out. What I would love to see is a zombie apocalypse style campaign or event in Hollowworld. I think that would be incredible, especially if it was well done. And Mishkat and Nailwin are great at pulling off campaigns. So, hey, that's your next campaign, right? It's set in stone. You heard it here first. Next campaign's gonna be a zombie apocalypse.
No.
Please don't quote me on that.
Next question comes from Golden Gem 25, and he asks, what's your opinion on civilization? Which I think is a very controversial topic on this server.
Foolish civilized. Okay, if we're talking about the NGEM's view on civilization, which is to clarify the feudal system and caste system, which is like old medieval Europe, peasants and slaves and then lords and vassals and all that. I like it. I love civilization. I'm sorry, guys.
It's great. I love civilization. Also, my out of character opinion on it is bingo bango bongo. Only a few people are going to understand that, but for those people who do,
yeah, it's interesting to see. I like the engines; they're pretty cool. But yeah, next question that we have comes from Mokwar again, and he asks, "Do you have any regrets with your work in Hollowworld?"
No.
None. Nothing.
No.
Depends what he means by work. Does that like
I think
character development or?
I think so, or your organizations, things of that.
Oh, I regret the Night Stalkers actually.
Really? Why is
that? Way too cliche. I laugh every time I look at that thread. It was just an excuse to bring Daniela back. And you know, I dropped the curse from her when she got decorrupted and playing her in favor of Mom's kid. Yeah, probably that. In roleplay experience, probably my biggest regret is making out Arceus to be an idiot, because he's really not an idiot, but I have to play him as an idiot for continuity's sake.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have to give a serious answer besides no. and stop being arrogant. I'm gonna have to say that my biggest regret would have to be having Scardrac dropping the championship of Heretic the first time around. Second time around, actually, when he got that armor. Both he and I felt lost, and we didn't have that much faith in time.
Right, right.
And I just feel so bad now.
Next question is a very general question that most people answer. Who are your top 5 favorite characters in Altera?
Can they be dead?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe
Scar,
so.
you want to go first, or?
I'm gonna go first. Has to be my squire Landier, then my fellow knight Lucius, then the worst squire ever, which is an inside joke. I'm not being serious. Boog, not really. Then how many have I said? I have a giant list, I swear.
Right. And what about
Basically
you?
the order.
Basically the order.
Okay,
Basically the
I
entire
believe
order.
I've had this discussion before. My top 5 characters in no particular order, because I haven't thought too deep into that. My top 5 characters will probably have to be Queen Grief, definitely up there. Queen Lemons was great, big fan. Wish you didn't die. Albirix the Grey, definitely a favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Borar is incredibly well played, and what was the other one? Let me think. Oh yeah, probably. I'm gonna add 2 because they're kind of equal. Nailin and Legion are pretty amazing characters. Pretty mysterious. Don't know much about either of them, but they're very well played.
Yeah, we do have quite a few interesting characters in this roleplay server, which is pretty cool. Next question is from Sally Pirate, and she asks, do you have a favorite roleplay spot?
Oh. I don't think I have a favorite, but I have a least favorite, and it has to be the Crossroads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I always just end up either AFKing in there while all the roleplay goes around without me, or there's absolutely nobody in there that I can roleplay with, or I want to roleplay with.
Right. And what about you, GLaDOS?
My opinions. Let's see. Probably, honestly, my favorite place to roleplay would be when it was, because it had some really active times, would be the ruins of Stonefolk before I cleaned it up. It was pretty amazing to see people interacting with the wreckage that was left over after Heretic and Silas fought. That was a really fun event. I'm satisfied with this ending.
It wasn't a fight.
Well,
It was more like Dominion.
Silas is getting slapped down.
Dominion of Stonefolk.
It's
Next question.
It's interesting. Now we're gonna move on into a section of what would your character do.
Oh yeah,
This is
gonna be
where
fun.
I'll ask, which I believe we're gonna be focusing on Scardrac and Arceus, right? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I ask this question all the
characters.
time.
So we'll start off with the one that Mokar asked first. How would your character react if they were put in a situation where they either had to kill a family member or a best friend?
Family member.
How would they react?
They would Scardrac, honestly, the only family he really had were his parents, who, if anybody read my profile, he extremely hates, for reasons I won't spoil. Some people may know. But he would do it with hesitation, but temporary remorse.
Right. And what about you, GLaDOS?
Give me just a minute, alright?
Alright.
Scardrac, keep asking Scardrac, I'll be right back.
Alright,
Okay.
First I want to say thank you, Malquer, for all the questions.
Yes, there are some pretty good questions there. Scardrac, I'll ask you another question as well. What would your character do where it was completely opposite of their personality and they had to do tasks of something they weren't comfortable with, or not comfortable with, but weren't accustomed to? What would Scardrac do in those situations?
He's been in a lot of these situations. He usually just powers through it to get out of the situation.
Right. Okay.
Before, like, a 5-minute hesitation, like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this.
Right. And what would your character do? What would Scardrac do if he was trapped on a desert island? What object would he bring with him? What would he try and do?
He would bring his Haratef necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah. To either help Haratef get him off that damn island, or to be closer to Haratef on the day that he dies. In the sun. So it's more likely that he gets rescued.
Glados, are you back, or are you still disappeared on us? Seems he still disappeared. We can talk a little bit about your character, I guess, Scardrac. What did he... Were you at the Jishroom summoning? Yes.
I logged in mid-event, and I found my reasons to go to the event, and I saw people packed up at the gates. They're all traumatized, don't know what's going on. Scardrac, as soon as he stepped foot through the gate, he's teleported into a bubble where everybody else sits.
Right,
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm out of there. He was the first. He was one of the 2 people to get out of there first, because a individual had been nice to Jishroom and allowed her to get 2 people out of there. And so Scardrac and Murdoch were let out.
Right. That's that event was very interesting, I think, and a lot of different character reactions there, which was pretty cool. So Scardrac, what would your character do if he was faced with his inner demons, his darkest fears?
I'm back.
Okay.
Just to inform you. Can I answer that first question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Arceus would probably, if faced with that ultimatum, he would probably resist it to his dying breath, honestly. He doesn't like to do that.
Right. Okay.
There was a second question I believe I missed. What was that?
Yeah, well, I'll come back to you in a second.
Okay.
Well, I'll have you both answer this question. What would you do if your character was faced with their inner demons and greatest fears?
I think that happened multiple times. He's done that before. There was once a time way back when in Old Lore where Scardrac was a demon, but his brother, who at the time was in some, I don't know, phase of whatever magic he was under, and as a demon he started shouting and whining in sadness.
Right.
After his brother was being attacked by like 5 people and like dead.
And what about you, Glados? I think at the most recent event, Arceus was faced with one of his greatest fears, which was a giant spider. Am I right?
Yeah, Jishroom is Arceus' biggest fear currently.
Oh yeah.
It's bad. I can put it very simply. Jishroom knows Arceus by name. So, they definitely have a history.
He asked for your name in the bubble.
No, he knew it before that. Not involving Jishroom, some of Arceus' past stuff that has happened in the past, prior to Altera, Hollowworld, really, because this character's been around for 7 years. Around. If information about his former kingdom, if anybody knew about that, what he did there, he'd probably just go and hide somewhere in the mountains and never come back. Because he would have angry mobs
Chasing him around.
He did some bad stuff.
I also asked Scardrac the question, what would your character do if he was stranded on a desert island? What would he bring and what would he attempt to do? So, Glados, why don't you answer that question for Arceus?
RK, so try and summon the dragon gods.
Again? Really?
No, I'm kidding. He'd probably, let's see, stuck in an island? Been in that situation before. That's a tough one.
Okay.
He can only bring one thing,
Yeah.
and it can't be a boat.
Can't be a boat.
Can it be a person?
Yes.
Okay. Really tough. He would probably bring Kaya, his current youngest daughter, by Sophia Dormus / you.
Right. Right, well, after this question session, we're going to move into our featured thread and artwork of interim between the two podcasts. So, the first thread we're going to feature is the donation thread, which has come up by Somnostra, Morgan Freeman, about what's going on with donations in EULA, and it talks about a little bit about the new perks that are coming up, which right now we just have titles, Ender Chest, and setting more homes. Guys, why don't you talk a little about that? I know we talked about it earlier in the podcast, but what are your thoughts right now on this based off donation system? Do you have any thoughts about it? Is it good? Is it not good? Do you think people will donate?
I know that a lot of people will donate out of just sheer charity.
Right.
They love the place. I think it will drive some other people to green. I've heard multiple people. I'm like, I'm sick of this gray, or I'm sick of this green.
Right.
I want something better. How do you get better? Yeah, and the more titles.
Yeah, the
titles
are
great.
I love the titles.
Titles are great.
Yeah, and the convenient tools like Ender Chest or
and Fly. Fly's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can donate for that anymore though.
You can't. No.
I haven't. I don't know any more than what's in that thread, so I can't really judge on that. But I think I would definitely donate if I could buy more than 4 homes.
Right.
I need a lot of them. But
right.
A suggestion, in case the higher-ups are watching this, I think a good suggestion for a donation benefit would be, cosmetic, and you can do it, would be like how the subscribers have custom titles, like you could donate for a custom title.
I see what
you
mean.
Can set yourself. Or like you can put one for more than one.
Right.
Oh, like donate for a unique title.
Yeah.
Like multiple if you donate more.
Yeah, each one's some tier of.
Yeah, I did hear when I was getting my new title that it might become a new unique donation option. So that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a few, but I've unfortunately only have one slot for my subscriber.
The next
I can.
After the thread, we're going to move into the artwork, which we're going to talk about Mitch's Scribble's artwork thread area, where she recently completed a drawing of the first 4, or the 4 maguses who can teach 4 schools of magic, whatever, which is Valahad, Legion, Zemek, and then Nailwyn, each teaching their respective schools of magic, which is Cogitation, Mysticism, Thaumaturgy, and then Evocation. The shading, the beautiful, it really is a work of art. It's a masterpiece, I believe. What do you guys think on this piece?
I watched the live streams from when she started it. She started it a while back and put it on pause for a while. So I also watched when she finished it. And I tab out, I swear, for 5 minutes and come back, and there's just the amazing shading and textures done with the clothing and the ponchos and all that.
Yeah, it really is just a beautiful piece, I think. And what are your thoughts, GLaDOS, on this piece? GLaDOS?
One moment, please. I'm sorry. I'll get into this.
All right.
What are your thoughts on this piece, GLaDOS?
So you'll be right back. Okay, I'll talk more on it.
Yes,
you didn't
please
get the
do.
order of the magic classes right.
Yeah.
What I don't
Definitely.
understand, well, what I like most, the piece of artwork, is Nalwyn is the only one in fancy clothing, and all the rest have like ponchos and sashes and a cloak, and
Yeah.
like Nalwyn, so out of the ordinary.
And you could definitely tell that Velahad's sort of like the complete opposite of a lot of them because he's so oh, what's the term? Laid back, I guess you could say. Uh, he's an interesting character. But yeah, this piece is really great. I'm just gonna move on past GLaDOS because yes, I'd like to thank you both for joining me today on the podcast as we wrap it up. Look forward to the next podcast, which will be featured in probably next week or the week after. Thank you both for joining me. And yeah, happy role playing. Have a great time, guys, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye bye.